What's up, guys? It's your boy Mario back again with a new Gamma 19 update. It's been a while. I've been slacking. I've been trying to get these things done every week, but it's really hard to. Just simply with my current situation with school, I've been trying to kind of focus more on that when I can and do my work. Try not to mess around much. I've got like one more year before I graduate anyway. So might as well just, keep going at that. So that's why these things been a bit slow. That doesn't mean Gamma 19 has been going slow though, because I can sort of manage my time. And that's good. But there's a lot of times where I really just don't feel like working, and that sucks. And pushing yourself to do that sucks even more. Don't do that. If you just don't feel like working on something and you feel bad because you're not being productive, just don't work that day. Or like if you just don't do anything, just relax, because when you start working on it the next day, you're going to be a lot more refreshed. Regardless, other than some helpful tips, let's get right into this. So what's new? What's changed? So I've been working really hard to get this version like to be exactly like the Game Maker version, except less crap. And that is very hard to do, because also in the middle of this process, I'm also trying to come up with systems to make our lives a lot easier. The current big task after making the enemies to do was making the cutscenes. I had no idea I was going to go about doing it. I know what I wanted to do, which is make some kind of modular system where I can just keep, just write some code and it'll like execute it. But I wouldn't have to make duplicates of these objects or anything. So that came in handy. And I came up with what I would call version 1 of this design, because for all we know, it might have to change. But so far, let's start a new game and we'll see how it looks. Well, I think there was something wrong, but not really. As you've noticed, if you don't know, that was on Russian. Even though I just Google translated it, it's probably not, I know for sure it's probably not exactly correct, but it's just more of a testing kind of thing, just for fun. So while working on this cutscene thing, I was trying to figure out how to kind of prepare it for localization. And honestly, I gotta give Godot another 10 points for Godot, because whoever made this system for localization, outstanding. I mean, it couldn't be any simpler. Thank you, whoever thought of the system, because it is amazing. Basically, I'll sum it up real quick. All you have to do is make a file, which is a CSV file. If you don't know what that is, just think of an Excel spreadsheet, except it's only one page. There's no multiple pages. And you put all your text in there, and you just you have to lay it out the way Godot does. And then when you put it in the engine, it will generate all these translation files. You set those in the project settings, and then every phrase, every word that you kind of assign you have a key and a value. You just have to type in the key into a text box or into like a text field, and it will automatically just put whatever words you want in there. So if I said apple in English and I put apple in Russian, if I set the language to English, I just say the key's name is going to be lab apple, for example. I just type in lab apple, and the translation server, which is a built-in feature in Godot, translates it from the file. So put apple in English, яблоко in Russian. So it's pretty cool. It saved me a big headache, because I was like, oh no, I gotta come up with a system like I did with Gamma 19 in Game Maker, which wasn't so bad actually. What I did in Gamma 19 wasn't so bad, but this is even easier, because We have all these things in one file. There's no need for having JSONs or anything like that. So that's very cool. That makes it easy for us to send these files to translators to get it translated. Anyway, back onto this cutscene. It didn't look like anything special, but it kind of was. You know, we got the player waking up, text box happening, and it was, you know, that's big. But I did a little bit more than just that. That wasn't what took me so long. So if we open up cutscene object script, a lot of stuff, and I'll go through it. So this is like kind of the structure for our cutscene so far. You know, the great thing about this is like anytime we run into something new, adding on to this shouldn't be too hard. Like, I mean, I've been adding on to this since we started. So yeah, so we have a dictionary data structure that is exported. So that means that we can actually edit it in here and rather than the code, which makes it easy because all we just do is drag a cutscene object and we set all the values on the side. It might take a while though because there's no typing. Like, this is easier to type, copy and paste rather than do it here, but I'll find some way maybe that'd be a little better. So, but regardless, let's keep going. So yeah, so we have trigger events. We've got just things like you want to lock the player, how much time before the timer, you know, times out, start the timer, player sprite, what the player sprite should be at this and you know it's you know, it kind of just keeps going. Text with the speed of the text, which is really great because, you know, sometimes you're like playing a game and the text slows down and makes it a little dramatic, or you speed up text as a funny meme. You know, it's cool. Yeah, there's all these events to handle. Like this event plays when someone presses like the confirm button on a text box. It's really neat. And save key so that we can tell this thing to play once, save the value, and never play it again. That one's kind of just recent. It might have to be worked on a little bit more, but we'll get there when we get there. And yeah, so there's still a few things I need to do here, but right now, it's, you know, I kind of gave this this is done. Let's move on to the next part. And yeah, so it's a good start for a cutscene object, but you know, I'm not completely satisfied, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, like, okay, it's okay. We'll run into any issues later down the line. Some things I need to do is like how to handle like creating like objects that, you know, what I call dummies, which are just kind of like fake like NPCs that walk around or come into a cutscene and do other stuff. That part's gonna be probably a little bit more difficult, and I'll probably just try to figure out again when I get there. And yeah, I mean, let me look. What else did I do? Yeah. So after this, I'm not sure. I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of go through and try to recreate the kind of like the beginning, and once I get to here where you gotta go to hacking, and then that's the second cutscene that happens when you fight the meatball, the first meatball. Then that's where we run into the next issue, which is the battles. Battles, they're gonna work a little differently. I mean, they're still gonna be more or less the same. Camera locks, but I gotta get that working, like how to get the camera to lock, where to lock it, you know, all this stuff. So that's another challenge, and yeah. So Will, just an update on like Will, the artist side. The next level, or the next chapter? Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a chapter. Next part of the of this game that you guys will be playing in the demo, he's been working on it. He's gotten a lot of assets, supposedly, done for, or completed, but not for just to put it in. Like, it's not, they're not ready for production, but they're ready for just like put them in there as a, like, kind of like placeholders until he like colors them in and shades them and all that. I've yet to see him. Okay, I'm very disappointed. I keep asking for them. He's like, no, you. I'm just kidding. But you know, basically, he's been working on that while I've been working on this. So by the time I'm done with this demo, we might be done with with the next part of the game, which is good because when we're done with this demo, then we can really start hopefully we can really start steamrolling and just go through all this stuff, because that's part of the problem. We gotta rebuild all these systems in a new engine, and this new engine needs us to do things a lot more differently, and since I'm going back and redoing this, I'm gonna make sure I do this right, so that way we can have a very stable game, very little bugs, hopefully, and just be able to make tools for us to actually go through and make the game we want to make without having to code too much. That's the whole point when you design systems like this. It's just try to make it so that you can give it to someone who doesn't know how to code so much, but you tell them this is how it works, do this and that, and they can just do it without having to code. Put things together and boom. And that's what's so great about this engine. And if you guys are looking for an engine to use, I don't know if I could suggest this as a beginner engine, though, because it's pretty beginner friendly if you're just kind of getting into it. But there is a lot of stuff to this engine, and they're going to be in the documentations, which, if you know how to read documentations, that's a skill. That's really a skill done. If you can read documentations, you're pretty good. But yeah, I totally recommend this engine. It's amazing. Just amazing. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this update. I wish I could talk more about other things, but really, not really much to talk about other than we got cutscenes and text boxes, and which is important for the game. So, anyway, if you guys enjoy this, leave a like, subscribe, whatever, do whatever you want. And yeah, if you want to see something specific, want me to talk about something specific, just let me know in the comments. I'll probably make a video on it. Anyway, see you guys.